For decades, the global memory of Vietnam has been frozen in the combat footage of the mid-20th century. But look at Ho Chi Minh City today. With over 102 million citizens, this is the 16th most populous nation on Earth. While its historical roots are deeply agrarian, the country is rapidly shifting its weight toward technology and dense urban manufacturing, all directed by a unitary communist government. This is a nation actively writing its next chapter, leveraging its massive population to build a forward-looking economic powerhouse. This map shows Vietnam's distinct S-shape. It traces the eastern edge of the Indochinese Peninsula, sharing land borders with China, Laos, and Cambodia, while wrapping around the South China Sea. In the north, around the Red River Delta, the landmass stretches nearly 600 kilometers wide, but travels south to the central Quang Binh province, and the country narrows down to a strip just 50 kilometers across.
Hidden within this varied terrain are massive geological anomalies. This is Hang Son Dong, the largest natural cave in the world, complete with its own underground river and a towering subterranean forest. Because of these dense tropical forests and extreme elevation changes, the nation sits squarely within the Indo-Malayan realm, making it one of the top 25 biodiversity hotspots on the planet. This chart visualizes that density. Despite its relatively small footprint, Vietnam is home to roughly 16% of all identified species on Earth, including hundreds of endemic birds and mammals found nowhere else. The extreme geographical contrasts and diverse climate zones act as a biological engine, fueling a globally significant sanctuary for life. Long before the modern era, the ancient Dong Son culture laid the foundation for the region through wet rice cultivation and intricate bronze casting. This was followed by a millennium of Chinese dynastic rule in the northern Red River Delta. Successive monarchies gradually expanded southward toward the Mekong Delta. The expansion halted in 1883, when the last dynasty surrendered, integrating the territory into French Indochina. The 20th century brought prolonged, devastating conflict. Following World War II, forces fought the First Indochina War to dismantle French colonial rule, immediately bleeding into the grinding attrition of the Vietnam War. The fighting finally ceased in the year 1975, leading to the reunification of the country into a single, unitary communist state. But peace did not bring immediate prosperity. The nation was physically shattered, and strict state control under a centrally planned economy led to severe inefficiencies, rationing, and underproduction. Centuries of foreign occupation and decades of internal devastation forged a fiercely unified population, yet left them with an economy on the brink of collapse. A radical shift was required. In 1986, the government introduced the Doi Moi, or renovation reforms. This policy shift transitioned the country from strict central planning toward a socialist-oriented market economy, allowing private ownership of farms and opening the doors to foreign investment. This chart demonstrates the immediate impact on agriculture. Almost overnight, Vietnam scaled global markets to become the world's absolute largest producer of both cashews and black pepper. They also applied these new market mechanisms to traditional crops across the country, quickly securing their position as the world's second largest exporter of both rice and coffee. The momentum didn't stop at agriculture. International investment poured into the industrial sector, rapidly making high-tech manufacturing a massive pillar of the national economy. Through the 1990s and early 2000s, the nation achieved roughly 8% annual GDP growth. At the same time, deep poverty plummeted to levels well below many neighboring countries. The Doi Moi framework provided the exact catalyst needed to pull a starving, post-war state onto the global stage as a major economic exporter. Amidst this hypergrowth, societal stability relies on deeply ingrained cultural tenets. The Vietnamese focus on Yen Gia, meaning humanity, and Hoa, meaning harmony, places enormous value on the family unit and community obligations. You can see these traditions persisting today. Alongside the ancient roots of village-based wet rice cultivation, garments like the ao dai, a traditional flowing tunic, are still standard wear for significant ceremonies and celebrations. By keeping their cultural soul anchored in harmony, the population maintains a vital sense of identity and stability during a period of relentless economic acceleration. They are balancing the aggressive expansion of their urban skylines with the careful preservation of their UNESCO-protected natural wonders, like the towering limestone pillars of Ha Long Bay. And at the street level, massive public festivals reveal a remarkably young, energetic, and optimistic population. Modern Vietnam is defined by this extraordinary resilience. They have taken centuries of conflict and hardship, turned it into bedrock, and built the rising dragon of the 21st century.